Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast.
And we get the back view of him. And I mean, it's just a mega.
52 yards is a long shot. Magnum PI is what we named him. No idea.
Just a magnum.
Yeah, just a magnum.
Come on, Cam last year, we said probably 150, mid 150.
Yeah.
Same doe from the morning come out with that 9-pointer.
Here steps out this 90-inch 8-pointer. You're like,
I'm like, okay, well, there's still a buck back there grunting.
Yeah.
And then out steps like another 90-inch 8-pointer. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm like, deer right there.
Yeah, like
and he's
30
already
yards.
30 yards.
Yeah.
He was literally 5 yards from the base of the tree. Could have been had a buck down at 1:40 in the afternoon, back there deep on public. 3 does come out pretty early. It was like 245, 24-yard shot, sent the combat veteran, and I tell you what, man, dude, it just smoked. We always get so jacked up when the other person kills. It's just almost like we got it done.
Yeah. And when you killed that doe, I was like, hell yeah, man.
And we come down here to Missouri.
My ass told me one more time, I'm like, is it a good buck? And he goes, yeah, real good, solid buck. I'm like, all right, boom. And the deer just drops. Sure. Super special to me.
Whitetail Legacy Podcast, bringing you back to the hunt and leaving a legacy. Baller rut.
All right, we got Baker in the house, and we are going to do a Baker BS session. We've been lining this up for a while, and I'm excited. We've already been cracking up here, telling jokes for 30 minutes before we started. So how you doing tonight, man?
I'm great. Absolutely great. Back-to-back podcasts.
Oh,
So,
nice.
This is number 2. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What other podcasts do you go on?
Stephen Miller, he has one called Talking Smack with Stevie Mo or something. He just did like 13 questions and like talked about like he's like a big wrestling fan. And like I liked wrestling when I was a kid. And I just remember he asked me a question and he's like, what's your like something favorite wrestling match? And I was like, what? I haven't thought about that in 20 plus years. I was like, but it's funny you asked. No, I know what it was. He asked me a question. He said, what would be the most devastating wrestling move that would end a bar fight? And I said the Frankensteiner, which was the Steiner brothers who were from Michigan. And he did this like backflip around onto people's heads. And so we got on this like kind of wrestling conversation tangent, but like, yeah, it was interesting. He's like 13. Like every single question was completely and totally random. It had nothing to do with the question before. So we didn't talk about anything.
Yeah, there's no way to prep for that. Be like, yeah, you come on my show. I'm just going to ask you 13 random questions. You have no idea what's going on.
Completely random. Nothing.
But that is
the one before.
That is Stevie's flow, though. That's the way Stevie is, man.
Yeah. He takes pride in it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He does take pride in
the style.
Yeah, we want to have him on our show just because he's so out there and he's just, funny like you. He doesn't take shit too serious.
No, you can't, man. Like, you can't take anything. I mean, some things you take seriously, but like the moment you try or the moment you start taking everything seriously, like life starts to lose its fun and you lose peace of mind. And a buddy of mine said we were turkey hunting down in South Florida maybe a month ago. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, peace of mind, dude. He's like, you cannot put a price on peace of mind. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, wow, that actually makes a ton of sense. Yeah, you can't put a price on peace of mind. So you try to fit into like different, like, oh, I'm this age, I should be married with a kid by this age, and I should have this job, and yada, yada, yada. And like, whenever you pigeonhole yourself, you kind of start to run into problems. So, yeah, don't take yourself too seriously because it doesn't matter, man. Like, social media is not real. Twitter's not real. The way the media game is now, like we're just constantly getting gaslit from the right and the left. And at the end of the day, man, like Trump lost, whether you supported Trump or you wanted Biden to win, Trump lost, Biden won, whoever your horse was, whatever problems or current situation you're in life, there's a 99% chance it's your fault.
Yeah.
And the majority of the things that these guys or these politicians and stuff they preach, like, they don't really affect you individually. So like you kind of, and it's everyone's just trying to get everybody work. Like I know people that make less than $50,000 that are losing their mind about this, you know, supported like tax on the wealthy. It's like, dude, you make less than 50 grand a year. Like why do you give a shit if someone over 400,000 their taxes get increased? Like why are you letting the media upset you? So yeah, like you just people get all worked up about, and I did too, man. Like I was guilty of it, man. Like I was a Trump supporter, and I'm not ashamed to say I'm a very conservative person. Not to get politics into it, but like, dude, I bought into the gaslighting, man. Like for the past 4 years, I've been fighting with strangers on the internet, arguing with people about shit that I didn't halfway understand, and then you know it's kind of like you take a step back and you're just like, man, I spent a lot of time arguing with a bunch of idiots that I'll never meet. I'm never going to meet them. And like, I'm not going to change their position, because anyone that has a strong enough position to go fight with a stranger on Twitter, you're not changing that person's mind.
Yeah,
You know?
no.
So yeah, you can't take yourself too seriously.
No. I follow you on Instagram. Anybody that doesn't follow you, I think you should, just because your posts are like random as hell and hilarious. But you had that social media influencer award like challenge that you put out, like as a joke. You're like, I need you to make 369 stories, and if you say, hey, what's up guys, at the beginning, you get bonus points.
Oh, it was Influencer Olympics.
Yeah, I was dying on that post. I was like, this is like to the T what we got going on right now.
No, the Influencer Olympics, like, yeah, you get different points. So like that's what I do for a living. I work in social media. So I have a company called Digital Mongoose, and I run social media for about 24 different companies. Some companies are bigger than others, and some clients are bigger than others. But like I literally, I'm not kidding when I say this, man. Like I've been in this game for 12 years now with social, and like I've seen it all. And I've seen influencers and people that, you know, when you thought people were important, and then, oh, they got a lot of followers, and then you know, some Killcliff's one of the companies I helped start back in the day, and like we paid tons and tons of CrossFitters. Like I think our influencer budget a month, it was like close to 50 grand is what we paid out. And like at the end of the day, like it's really good to like build brand awareness, but like it doesn't move the needle. Like you know, like it's, yeah, people get hung up on Instagram, and like, dude, this is how you run Instagram. This is what you need. One opposable thumb. You don't need two. You need that. That's all you need. And it's like people think it's like the gold standard, and it's not. Like it was never meant to be monetized. Like the amount of data that you get off of Instagram is so insignificant, because they don't want anyone to know how simple the app is. Facebook, on the other hand, like I tell people all the time, you can make tens of millions of dollars on Facebook. You can make $100 on Instagram. So, yeah, like the Influencer Olympics, man, like people get on there and, hey guys, I know a lot of you have asked me this. It's like, no one's asked you shit. Shut up. like, that's just not how, no, I know how it works. Like no one cares. Like my favorite is like the gun bunnies, or like the bow bunnies. And then like the simps or the white knights that like come like crashing on their post to defend them. And it's like, bro, she's 23. You appear to be in your late 50s. You live in Queens. She lives in Nashville. Like, I don't even know.
You ain't got a chance in hell, brother.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's legal what you're doing right now. Sir. I don't even know you're allowed to talk on her post. It's like an age limit. But yeah, it gets nuts, man. Like, yeah, I try to keep it fun. Like, I'll see something like, here's how I basically judge what I post on Instagram. So if you look at my posts, like the ones that do really, really well are hunting posts. And then some pictures of Melissa and I do really, really well. And then like, I'll just see something stupid, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I'm going to post this.
I love it. Yeah,
because
your stories are awesome, man. I go through your stories. I'm like, man, this is some random ass shit we got going on.
Yeah, I don't like. I just don't care. You know, like I posted a thing tonight. It was like 10 cups of coffee, like black, all the way down to like straight milk, and then it had toast, like lightly toasted, all the way to just burnt, looked like a roof shingle, man. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And it's like, what combo are you? Like, how do you take your toast and how do you take your coffee? And like, I read those comments because it's like, wait a minute, hold on. Do you like burnt toast? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what? Are you serious? Because like when I was a kid and you burnt toast, you take a knife and you scrape the burnt stuff off. And then you lather it with butter and cinnamon and you're good to go, man. But like, yeah, you can learn. And then like I think one of my favorite things I did was like I would find like random ass food, like clam chowder popsicles.
Yeah.
Or Oreos and salsa.
Yeah.
Or Lucky Charms and ice water. And people really thought I was eating that. Shaved ice and sriracha, you know? People are like, dude. And then my favorite one was the Pop-Tart with cheese, plain Pop-Tart with cheese on it. Ugh, nasty. It doesn't matter. It's not important, man. It's just, you know, have fun with that shit. That's all it's designed for.
Yeah. It's important that, I mean, like you see someone that's running, you know, social media, and then you're like, you're posting that kind of stuff because it is half the shit on you see on there is staged or fake, you know, especially with a lot of the, like, if you follow anything fitness, you could tell that guy's got the best lighting, shit's prime, you know, but
six-pack abs and long pants to cover up bird legs.
Yeah.
There's a saying, and it's a little bit crass. I'm trying to think if I can say it. I'm not going to say it. But like SHOT Show or like ATA or NWTF, like there's all these like gun bunnies and like bow bunnies and stuff. And like, you see these people in real life and you're like, oh my God, you know magic because you made 2 foot of your right hip disappear. Like, how did you do that? Like, how do you do that magic? No, dude, it's nuts. But like, I have to kind of have an outlet. Like, so like Black Rifle Coffee Outdoors, like I run that Instagram page. And like, you know, anytime I make a post for Black Rifle, like I always pretend like I think like Evan Hafer's sitting right here and Matt Best is sitting right here. And it's like, okay, here I am. I'm going to make this post. I ask myself, why am I making this post? What's the purpose of it? Why am I doing it? What's the outcome I desire? And like, would Evan or Matt approve of it or disapprove of it? And so you get to a point where you know what your right and left boundary is. Like, I mean, they trust me completely. Like, I mean, I run their Twitter accounts. I mean, the fact that I have access, I mean, I could literally tweet anything in the entire world, but they know I'm not going to make a mistake or do something stupid. So yeah, you got to have an outlet. Like that kind of goes like, so Black Rifle, like we have a very specific, like there's humor. We have a very specific message, you know, service, veteran oriented, veteran founded, company's growing like a weed. So that's the thing, man. Like no matter how big things get, like it's always the humor. Cause like, I've never heard Matt or Evan ever tell a so there I was type story, you know. It's always based in humor or something funny. Like they don't ever tell like try to make themselves sound cool. Like listen, I've done 100 and something Launch Code podcasts co-hosted with Evan Hafer. And like I have met and we've had guests on there, some of the very tippiest of the spear people. And I have never heard Evan Hafer tell a like, so there I was type story. Like not one time. It's always like, well, I was on this abandoned airfield in North Africa waiting on this random plane to show up. I didn't know if it was coming. I'd been there 3 days. All of a sudden this plane shows up and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, here we go. It's about to get good. And he talks about like the crew chief walking off with like the dirtiest, greasiest hands he's ever seen in his life. And he's eating a hard-boiled egg. And you're like, excuse me? And he tells it with such passion. And then he's like, and then he pulled it out and ate another one. And it's like, but like, where'd you go on the plane? He's like, we can't talk about that. But he goes,
Yeah.
we talk about this egg,
The important part was the egg. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Black Rifle. I love the whole company, the idea of how, they have a good message. They're doing the right thing, but they just don't give a shit, and there's not enough companies out there.
Well, here's the funny thing about Black Rifle, and this is in the Wall Street Journal, so I'm not telling us a company secret. So Black Rifle Coffee was started 6 years ago with $1,800. Okay. And we did 163 million in sales in 2020. All right. And that is just the byproduct of hard work, man. Like there's no one had like a rich uncle or an inheritance or like a bunch of money that they stole from the Iraqis hidden in a bunker or any of that shit, or gold bullion or whatever. It's literally just hard work and really good decision making. And like I've been around a bunch of brands and I've seen a bunch of really great ideas and I've seen a lot of really talented people, but I've never quite seen anyone that can do the things that Evan Hafer's been able to do with a good idea and surround himself with great talent. Like if there was a contest, like pickup, remember when you were a kid, you're on the basketball court or whatever, when you're playing pickup games for football, like Evan would be the greatest pickup coach of all time. Pickup captain, because he knows how to surround himself with like phenomenal people and he knows how to get the most out of those people. And I think one of the things that's really impressive about Evan is that Evan doesn't try to manage the unmanageable. Like I would say like Jared Taylor is unmanageable. I'm not unmanageable. I am just more effective when you just kind of say, hey, Baker, kind of here's where we're thinking. Go out into the world. Go do
it.
Like, so I have this thing called the black box theory. So like you want what do you want from me? I want C. What have I got to work with? You got A. A plus B equals C. B is in a black box. Don't ask me what goes on there, because I don't fucking know what's going on in there. All I know is that we'll get to C, and I'll use A to get there, but I don't know what's going on over here. You know what I mean? So that's one thing like Evan's like really good at. It's like he's, he can manage the unmanageable, and he knows how to motivate people, and he leads from the front. I don't think he took a vacation for like the first like 4 or 5 years of the company. I mean, he takes vacation all the time now. He'd probably get mad I said that. I don't give a shit. But no, like I'm serious, man. Like it was kind of one of those things where it's like, shit, you start to worry about your friends. It's like, you need to detach from that. You have to step away. Like imagine if like we had like deer season was 365 days a year. That wouldn't work. You know what I mean? We'd get burnt out. Like it would, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'd just be like, I don't know. It's like there's D3 football going on right now. No one gives a shit. No one cared in the fall, but no one really cared. Or I'm sorry, FCS Division like 1AA, like the North Dakota State or the Dakotas, Georgia Southern schools like that. They're having their playoffs right now, but it's why like all these other football, like XFL and stuff didn't work because like people don't want football 365. They want football in the fall.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of like evidence. Like, hey, man, like maybe take some time off. Company's going to be here when you get back. We're not going anywhere. It's going to be fun. So,
yeah, they just started it and they went with the idea. They went full send, and I mean they're absolutely crushing. I had Black Rifle. There's an ass load of. You can never try all the flavors, but I've got multiple ones. Yeah, they do shit for everybody, man. Military, firefighters, police, they got it all out there.
Yeah, we've spent we have actually just saw a thing tonight. We have a roast for firefighters called 5 Alarm. And we have Thin Blue Line for law enforcement. But like Evan and I were talking about it, I don't know, maybe back in the fall. And it's like Black Rifle has donated millions of dollars to first responders, LEO, veteran causes and whatnot, and to a Second Amendment organizations, like millions of dollars. And I don't mean like T-shirts and coffee. I'm talking cash, like millions of dollars. And we're over 500 employees now, over half are veterans. And it's something that's Evan takes very, very seriously, and the company does take seriously. And it's kind of like one of the guiding principles of the brand.
Yeah.
It's a fun company to work with, man. Like
well, I enjoy their social media, man. So you're doing a good job. I enjoy that it's kind of the same kind of style. Random, really cool, really like thought out, just badass stuff. They're always doing something badass, it seems like.
Yeah, always something. Like I think they leave on a bear hunt. What's today? The 4th? 4 days from now, they're going up to Kodiak Island to go hunt brown bear with Cole Kramer.
Crazy. This Kodiak brown bear, that's like the number one. That's like the dream of dreams. Yeah.
Is it really?
Can't get much higher than that.
You want
one? What? Kodiak brown bear? Shit, I'd have to save money for 10 years to be able to go on that.
But that's something you would want to do.
Well, hell yeah. Eventually, one day. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it doesn't do it for me.
Don't do it for you, man. I don't know. I don't think a black bear would do it for me, but I think flying in, being like, those things are giant. Every film I've ever seen, it's just insane. But
yeah,
the film that you see is like the guy just paid $50,000 to go hunt that thing. So the film's like insanely good. You know what I mean? So just epic.
Well, so for me, so my buddy Caleb Copeland filmed a couple brown bears. Maybe I think it was 2 years ago, and I just remember getting texts from him. He's like, I mean, fuck this, screw this, this is bullshit. Like, I hate it. He's like, I'll never do this again. You couldn't pay me enough. He said he was in waders for 14 days straight.
Yeah,
you only see bears at like, and I believe this is how he conveyed the story. You only see them at like first light and last light, but you're there all day long waiting.
Ugh.
And he just said it's just the wind blows sideways. It's miserable. And then they did get one. And he also said this. He said, you know, the older we get, we're told that monsters don't exist. He goes, that's bullshit. I just saw one. He goes, they're grizzly bears. They're monsters.
Yeah, we were at ATA and the short film. You know who filmed that, homie? He ended up winning the short film there, the Badland Film Festival. And he did a Kodiak hunt. Insane. It was super cool. But when he got up next to it, I was like, damn, that thing is giant, you know.
It was a far ass shot too.
Yeah, it was
a bomb.
Too. Yeah.
How far?
Dude, it was like 70-ish yards.
Yeah.
It was hella far. Yeah,
with a bow, yeah.
Oh, no.
Kodiak bear on the ground.
I'm not
with
doing
a bow.
that.
Yeah, I'm sure he had someone behind him with a gun, but man, it's one of the coolest. It was a short film, so I think they give you like 3 minutes, don't they, homie? 3 to 5 or something like that.
Yeah, 3 to 5.
Pretty short, but it was pretty badass.
Dude, it's sick.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
There's just so many things, so many other animals that I'd rather get after than a brown bear. I don't have a problem with it. Like, I hope they all shoot 11 footers. Like, I hope they just. I think Evan's using the bow. I think Logan's using a 375, and I'm sure Matt's using a rifle too. But like, dude, just no. I don't seek out discomfort anymore. Like,
you are seeking discomfort on that 100%.
No, but like but there's like a hierarchy. And this only applies to me. It doesn't apply to my friends. I have an order that things will be done in my hunting life, and brown bears probably it's like not last on the list, but it's like it's down the road.
Yeah. What's your top 3?
I've got all my top 3. I just like my top 3 so much. I want to keep doing them. So I shoot an elk every year out west. I've shot elk in Utah, Idaho, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah. Did I say that? Yeah, so Utah, Idaho, Colorado, New Mexico. I like elk hunting out there with the bow. Last year, I shot a nice bull in New Mexico with a rifle. The first time I've ever killed an elk with a rifle. And listen, I'm not a bow only guy. Whatever the tool is that we're going to use that day, I will be proficient with it. I really like hunting whitetails in the South, man. I really, really do. And by the South, I mean Georgia. So we have a farm in Americas. I love hunting deer there. I love hunting deer in Texas. I log turkey hunting. Like those are the things that I really, really enjoy. I mean, I don't want to sound pretentious or like a D-bag, but like I can go hunt anything within reason, like whatever brown bear, whatever it is, like I could go do that. I don't want to. I love going to Africa. I've been to Africa a lot. Like that's believe it or not, that's one of the most affordable hunts on the planet. If not, I would say the most affordable hunt out there. I just got into the mule deer recently. Shot a really nice one in Texas in the Panhandle. I think mule deer are super cool. Phenomenal species. I have no interest in black bear. Really no interest in antelope. I don't, whatever. I'll shoot anything that flies out of the sky. I'll shoot it in the air. I'll shoot it on the way down, whatever. I love doing that. I've got a elk hunt with Eastman's Hunting Journal. I'm going on one with them in Southern Colorado this year. I'm fired up about that. And I really like hunting turkeys in different states. So I've successfully hunted turkeys in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Kentucky. There's like three or four more that I'm just completely missing. I said Texas, Oklahoma. I've shot turkeys in a bunch of spots. And then I love fishing, like inshore saltwater. What I really love to do is scalloping. So y'all have probably never heard of that.
No.
So in the United States of America, we have bay scallops in really one spot, and there's Florida Panhandle goes like this, and then there's like the armpit. It hooks down into the Lost Coast. Right in the armpit, you have Steenhatchee, Florida, Crystal River, and then you have Homosassa, Florida. And the flats are just covered with elephant grass and eelgrass, and that's where bay scallops like to live. So the scallop season in Florida is from June the 15th to September the 7th. And I'm going to close my eyes and I can see them right now. I can see them clear as day. We went last June for the first time and had so much fun, bought a boat like 6 days later. And then we bought a house over there. So I'm not kidding, man. Like it's an underwater Easter egg hunt for adults. It's early season. You find them in like 6 to 8 foot of water. And then as the season progresses, they come in shallower and shallower. But like, dude, it's the most fun. Like we love to fish for speckled trout and redfish over there, and then I like to go over to Bradenton and catch tarpon and reds and snook and stuff like that, and then we fish here for snook and reds as well. So a lot of
scallops are like, you eat a scallop, you're like, man, this is like a delicacy. It's like a fish that's a steak. It's like,
but here's one of the funny things about that. That is true, but you got sea scallops and you got bay scallops. So bay scallops are about that big around. They're really small. Well, sea scallops can be huge.
yeah.
And a lot of times, a sea scallop isn't a scallop, it's a stingray. They'll take a cookie cutter and cut holes in the wing of a stingray and sell it. And and feed it to you as a scallop. Well, I don't
I've probably
like.
had an assload of stingray in my life, but not even know it.
Yeah, hey, dude, if it tastes good, who gives a shit? You know, like,
Yeah,
who cares? But yeah, you asked me. That's a long ass rant I went on. But like, honestly, man, elk out west in the fall during the rut is amazing. I love hunting whitetails, and turkeys, man. Like that's. And then I lived in Washington State for 8 years and duck hunted like 30 something days a year, but I haven't. When I moved from Washington State, like I just haven't hunted ducks like that. That used to be my favorite thing, but like I just really like elk in the rut out west, turkeys all over the place, and then and whitetails. I really, really, those are the things I like to do the most. If I had to add some like other stuff to that, like I would like to get a moose just because I'd like the meat, but like not one of those psycho. Like I'd like to do like a float hunt for like a big moose. I would like to get a big Yukon moose. But I've hunted on 4 continents. Like I was down in Australia summer before last, shot a couple water buffalo down there, a bunch of pigs, and then I shot a lot of feral donkeys. So
hell yeah. The water buffalo pics are awesome, dude. I love those. I'm like, damn, that's so cool.
So everyone's like, well, how many donkeys did you shoot? And I was like, a lot. And they're like, well, how many? I was like, well, one day I got 17. They're like, what? And I just said, the reason I did it was because being in a situation or in a room or an environment where you know that you are the best at something can take you a long way in life. So like the fastest guy on the football field, he doesn't have to worry about it as much as other people because he's got that confidence. I am the fastest guy on this field. When I walk into a room, I know that I have killed more donkeys than anyone else in that room. And like that was that. And then like I've been to Africa a bunch, and then Central America and South America. And so, I mean, I've hunted all over the place. I've hunted in, I think, 23 states now. And there was a time when I just wanted to go to as many new states as possible just so I could say I've been to so many states. But if I had to add some other stuff, I'd like to get a big Yukon moose, but I'd want the weather to be nice. And then I'm kind of like recently have kind of been taking a slight interest in billy goats. Like the big white things. I don't know. I think that's kind of sliding in. So like the wish list, outside of the main 3 things, the wish list would probably be like a big Yukon moose, but it would have to be some other stuff instead of just the moose. Like there'd need to be like some fishing or whatever. And then billy goat. What are your top 3?
Yeah, I think
caribou on the northern slope. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, caribou. Yeah, that's mine. That I watched that Meat Eater episode where he's with that 100-mile herd of caribou.
Yeah,
and it's just so many animals. You get to just chill up there and watch them. My luck, it'd be shitty weather for like 3 days, and I wouldn't see anything. But I think that's probably my number 1. And then mule deer. I'd like to kill just an absolute giant mule deer, freaking nature, deep
they're
split.
So cool.
Yeah, and then I just can't get over whitetail. I've killed quite a few. I've killed giants. I've killed small ones. I just like killing whitetail. I like hunting whitetail. That's why we have a whitetail, based podcast, because that's what we like turkey hunting, or homie likes turkey hunting. I go turkey hunting. Right. Turkey hunting, they're the most frustrating animals in the world. I just feel like we were talking the other day. When you go turkey hunting and you wake up that morning, you're like, I'm killing 100%. I'm going to get on them. To be on the roost, fly down, I'm going to smash. When you wake up deer hunting, you're not like, I'm going to kill today 100%. You're just like, if I see some deer, it's going to be a good hunt.
Yeah, you wake up and you're like, please God,
you're like, just let me see something nice. Turkeys, you're like, I'm in the chips. And we are always in the chips, but man, it's just, they just get us by that much every time.
No, it's the funny thing about like with whitetail, it's you just don't know. You go through stages where you're like, maybe if I could just see a good one, it can be in the other field. I would like to see horns today. Or, yeah, dude, but that's the funny thing about it is like I've gone out and been like, I am going, God, it's going to be loaded today. And then you get up and you're like, man, there's shit out here. And then you're like, God, it's so hot. This is going to be miserable.
Yeah.
And you go sit and then all of a sudden it's just like the best day ever. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
I do agree. There is a time where you're just like, I don't even know if any bucks are out here anymore. Like, I just need to see something. Somebody give me a sign out here.
Give me a glimmer of hope. You're never turkey hunting. You're like, all right, I just got to see one. You know what I mean? 'Cause you can hear them. You know they're in the area. Like, turkey hunting is just so frustrating because you know you're so close. Deer hunting, you don't know if you're close or not. You're like, there could be something over there on the ridge, but it ain't gobbling at me saying, I'm right here, you dumbass.
Do you guys ever hunt over deer decoys?
No, we haven't. We got buddies that smash on them, but we never tried it.
I begrudgingly did it one time last year. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. But I'm going to do it, Jamie, because you're asking me to do it. So I got a buck decoy, and I like to hunt where I can see deer. I like to hunt food plots. I don't necessarily hunt one specific buck. Like, I'm not really willing to say I'm going to sit here all day in hopes that a shooter buck comes by. I'd rather sit there and see deer, see them moving about, see younger bucks, see, mature bucks that aren't on the hit list, rather than just sit there day in, day out, hoping on one buck. That's not fun to me. So where I put this stand, we had a burn pile. We were burning slash, okay? And there was a front end loader 20 yards from the smoldering pile that was 20 feet high. Listen, hold on, that's not true. It was 10 feet tall, at least 10 feet. Because I remember the first time I went up in the climb, they're like, you're not even higher than the burn pile. So we have a burn pile, we have a front end loader, and between the front end loader and the burn pile, I parked my truck. That's how stupid I thought this was. So I get this climber, and I haven't been in a climber in 15 years. And I put this, and so I've got bedding and pines over here, comes up to a flat part. I'm in a climber here, dirt road here in the woods, bedding, field out there, food plot way down there. I was like, this is going to suck. I'm in a naked pine tree. I have a fake deer in front of me, 20 yards. This is bullshit. And dude, at like 5:30, I sent a text. I was like, oh my God, I see a deer, finally. Normally by this point, I would have seen 20 deer. So I just sent the text deer. And I remember thinking, oh shit, there's a buck with her. This deer was so far away that I almost didn't pull my binos up. I was like, And there's no way he's leaving that doe. This was during the rut. And I pulled up the binos. I was like, oh, damn, he's a shooter. Begrudgingly hit my grunt tube. That deer went 300 yards. Listen to me, on a rope. He didn't deviate 2 degrees this way or 2 degrees this way. He was coming. He was on this doe, 300 something yards away, undulating terrain. Hung a left, walked directly in front of the deer decoy, and faced him chest to chest. And then I shot him in the chest with a 30-06. The only difference between that hunt and a turkey hunt was the 30-06 and the fact that deer didn't gobble. Like, it came into that decoy like a turkey. Dude, it was insane. It was insane. And that story gets better. It's a 9-pointer. Nice deer. Mature deer. Fantastic deer. It's on my Instagram. It's that photo, night photo with the purple in the background. It's an absolutely stunning picture. And took it to the processor, fist bumps, chest bumps, like everybody's happy. And we went back the next day to drop some does off. And I went to the cooler, and there was that 9-pointer, and I was like, man, God, I was on cloud 9, picking it up, looking at it, like the G2 was like this, and I was like, Michael, man, God, this deer was good. He's like, yeah. He's like, wait a minute, that's not your deer. And I was like, what are you talking about? And it was some dude named Blake Anderson. And I saw Blake, and I thought it said Baker. And then I found my deer, and that deer was like 15% more mass, 15% more time length. And it absolutely, I was like, fuck. That's what that deer would look like next year? Oh, curse. Yeah. No, that was nuts. I had a good season last year, shot a bunch of does. I shot a nice 10-pointer in Texas, got a really nice axis buck, which we've been eating the meat off the axis. We ate all the steak. Now we're eating the sausage, and it's like this jalapeno sausage. It's out of this world. And then I shot a couple bucks in Georgia, got a nice 8-pointer in Missouri, really nice. So, yeah, man, I had a hell of a deer season. Really good.
You're out there dropping them down all the time. I'm looking at the Instagram. I'm like, I got another one. Got it. And I love the positivity, man. You guys are just out there having a freaking blast.
Yeah, no, because there's some people that are just so serious about their deer hunting, or like they feel there's an obligation to do this and do that. I will tell you this, though, man. So I became friends with a wildlife biologist by the name of Jeremy Starks this year. We were turkey hunting in Florida together, so I met him. He was like pro bass angler for 13 years. He was bass master champion, whatever they call it, twice. Owns a company called Bass Mafia. And just kind of talking to him about like, deer and deer biology and all that stuff, and building mineral sites and how important they are during fawning and all that stuff. So we spent this past weekend building mineral sites up in at the Farm in Americas. And then like just how important predator control is. Like, I don't know, it's interesting hearing stuff from a scientist who's actually a deer hunter versus a scientist who's just a scientist. Because a lot of scientists, they want you to know that they're the scientist and you are not. And then they speak at a level where it's not as digestible as, one would hope. But, dude, it's such a beast. Like, if you want to get a guest on that really knows whitetail, like, this dude is unbelievable. And he's from West Virginia, and he presents information in a manner that, like, you feel like you're just talking to like a regular guy. You're not talking to a scientist. And that's extremely important. Like, teachers in high school or professors in college, some were dicks and some you really connected with. I don't know whether it was their tonality or their diction or how they spoke to you or whatever. He's I'll make the introduction tonight when we get done with this. But so yeah, I'm super jazzed, super pumped about our whitetail this year, because we got the property not this past season, the season before, and so we started implementing. We got it like basically like right as season started. Their antlers were on their heads already. So this past year was our first year we could get protein supplementation. And one thing I learned is that you cannot have improving food supplementation will not have an effect on the deer that year. So it's always the year after. So this year we should be seeing some results from the stuff we've been doing the past couple of years, or the past season and a half. So I'm really, really excited. Like, I'm very much looking forward to this year. I cannot wait.
Yeah, a lot of people think they
shit out of the boat too. What's that?
Put it out. I said a lot of people think they just put the feed out and they're just going to start growing that year, but it takes years to really get that growth established.
If you have, let's say, if you have a whitetail population that's never had high protein supplementation, and you introduce high protein supplementation to it, you won't see anything that year. The following year is when you will see it, because we're not talking about muscles. We're talking about bone and their endoskeleton. So, like, you can go in the gym and work out like a madman for 30, 60, 90 days. You will absolutely see a difference. 100%. You'll see a difference. Your clothes will fit differently. All your friends are going to see it. no one's going to see that your bones are getting stronger because that doesn't happen in 30, 60, 90 days. That happens, that takes a lot longer. So that's the big thing about antlers that people don't understand is that it's not that season, it's the following season. And then one of the things with mineral sites, so in the spring and summer, 95% of their diet is forbs, which are basically soft herbaceous plants. And those are mostly water with some potassium. So white-tailed deer go through their spring, summer, and fawning season in a sodium deficiency. So one of the benefits to mineral sites is it has a massive impact on milk produced by mothers. It increases their yield. So that's super important. And then talking about, I learned this from Jeremy. So fine salt, livestock salt, and then dicalcium phosphate, 2 parts, 1 part. So I think I built a dozen mineral sites. So hopefully that'll have an impact. We can have healthier fawns and all that stuff. And then, So do you guys do that?
We're not allowed to do it in our state, but we got.
You can't build mineral sites?
No, we can't bait or build mineral sites in our state. Yeah.
What if your mineral sites are not during hunting season?
No.
Nothing. Can do nothing. Just put the food slot in and hope it works.
Yeah, we got buddies that own mineral companies, and we would love to be able to, we use them in Missouri when we go down there and rifle hunt, but in Illinois, cannot use them at all. But it's something we wish we could do because like the winters up here, man, if we could give them some protein, the winters up here, they're eating tree bark and shit because it gets bad, And then just like you said, being able to hit those fawns would be no telling how big our deer would be, Iowa can do it.
Well, not even size, it's just overall healthier deer herd. So even in the off season, you can't supplement the animal's food source.
No, I think Illinois is the I don't want to be too savage, but the wildlife department is more worried about money than the actual animal. And I feel like a lot of other states, they're not like that. They see the potential for CWD with the feeding and the mineral sites. That's why they won't do it. And we did have a big outbreak of that a few years ago, but we weren't feeding then. So you can still have it without being able to feed or mineral. So I don't know. State of Illinois, our public lands, really, really bad. Not very much of it. And the laws, the seasons for turkeys and the season for certain areas to hunt deer, just bad. So they might get it straightened out sometime. But like Missouri, I go down to Missouri and it's turkey season. You get a tag, you can hunt it all turkey season. Here you get 1 week per tag, and you got to get different tags per different seasons, and it's a disaster.
If you want some insane shit, go to Washington State as a resident and just try to understand it. Don't try to be a successful hunter. Just try to figure out what you're supposed to do, dude. It'll blow you away, man. So anyway, well, gents, I got to run. It's
all right, brother.
Chat with you. I think we're over an hour. We're an hour and 14 minutes.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on and BSing with us, man.
Hour and 17 minutes.
Oh man, yeah. There's no telling. I don't have a timer on my end now. You've got the timer, so I have no idea where we're at. I just keep ripping. But we appreciate you coming on, man. We won't waste any more of your time. You have a good night.
Wait, hold on. How long do we go for?
We're at 48 minutes, 49 minutes right now.
Since we recorded, yeah. We had that 30 minutes in the pre-show that we didn't hit the record button.
All right, we got 10 more minutes. What's your 3 animals?
I'd like to get a bighorn sheep down. That's my number one.
Which one?
I could go up north, or desert wouldn't be bad. I just don't want to be super balls hot. I don't like being super balls hot, but being up in like Montana and some great scenery, that sounds pretty amazing to me. Yeah. Two's going to be a like purebred Miriam turkey, just as white can be. I think that them are the prettiest birds that I've seen. And then just like 3, like Cody said, man, it's a toss up between a freaky whitetail or a freaky giant mule deer. Probably a mule deer just because I can do whitetail every year, but mule deer, just I'm amazed at how tall that they can get. And if you get something with a couple kickers and a good split, man, that shit starts adding up fast.
So you want you want a big old Merriam turkey?
Yeah.
We could do that next year.
I've tried the last 2 years. This shit just ain't lining up like it needs to.
Where'd you try?
We were going to
well-
go to Nebraska last year, and fucking COVID got us.
Yeah,
And why did you go to
guys.
Nebraska this year?
Because there was a surprise bachelor party that got planned, and my anniversary is on the 12th of May. So it was either the weekend before or the weekend after of the anniversary. I got to, set aside for that. And then the bachelor party went on the second weekend that I didn't know was going to happen. So it was either go to Nebraska or spend a weekend at the bachelor party that got dropped on me. So I was like, well, I mean, you only got one bachelor party.
Yeah, dude. So Nebraska, you just go knock on doors, man.
I would say I heard the population's amazing out there. So
Yeah, dude, you don't need to know anyone in Nebraska. Like, this is the God's honest truth. I've done this. I could get in my truck right now, drive to Nebraska, cut the trip in 2. So let's say I were to leave tomorrow morning. I'd arrive the following night. So I'd leave tomorrow, it'd be Wednesday. By Friday, I could have a dead bird on the ground, not knowing a soul there. You basically just ride around, go to the Broken Bow area, Broken Bow, Nebraska. Ride around, you'll see birds strutting in fields under trees and shit. Go knock on the landowner's door. Hey, you got turkeys, do you mind if I make a move? Absolutely, just don't shoot my cows. Listen, it's that easy. Like, I'm not kidding. It's that easy. They're the nicest people in the world. They don't give a shit. Their turkey population is just insane. Yeah, that's why, dude, I've killed my second and third turkey ever in Nebraska. And knocking doors is the way to go there. So, dude, like next season, drive down there, knock on people's doors. It's like, hey, give them something. Like, here's some coffee. I'll send you some coffee. Here's a bag of coffee. You got some turkeys over there. You mind if we try and make a move on one? They won't. I promise they won't care.
Yeah, I'm going out there next year. So I mean, it's
like bow or shotgun.
third. I'm taking both. I'm going to take both. When you buy a tag, I believe you get 3. You can take 3 birds.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do the first one with the shotgun just so I know I get it down.
Turkeys were meant to be shot with shotguns.
Yeah.
Like, there's really nothing cooler than shooting a deer with a bow. A whitetail.
Yeah.
Good whitetail. Yep. But like, turkeys were meant to be shot with a shotgun, man. This is true, man. I've seen more birds lost with a bow than I've seen killed.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. That's not made
Their
up.
kill zone's pretty tall, or pretty small, but that head for a shotgun is just an absolute primo target.
Yeah, head, breast, chest,
yeah, whatever it takes.
The thing about turkeys is the way their lungs sit, like their vitals are literally like that. If you don't clip a leg, if you take a leg out, they can't run. If they can't run, they can't fly. But like hit their lungs, like our lungs are like this, their lungs are like that. They're on the inside of their rib cage instead of being like, like this. It's like that thin. And you can really just scrape their lungs out with your hand. Like they're just right on the inside of like if this is their rib cage, their lung just sits in it like that. It's like super thin. It's super hard to kill them with a bow. It's gotta be like a perfect shot. Take a leg out. And if you shoot him with a bow, get out and chase him.
I would say when you shoot him with a gun and you literally just roll that sumbitch over, it's like, damn, hell yeah,
I shot one in Texas this year, man, and like I have never jumped out of a blind and gone running. I'm always like, hell yeah, it's a shotgun, whatever. And this one, I shot this bird on the last day at like the 11th and a half hour. And I was so excited. I jumped out of the blind. I was like, hell yeah. And I looked over at him and his head was up. He was on his stomach and his wings were out by his side and his head was up. And I thought, oh, shit. And he started flopping away. And all of a sudden, he got his legs under him. And he took off running. And I was like, oh, my God, no. I ran as fast as I could around this bush and just swung around this bush and shot him straight in his back and finished him off. I had to. Like, the funny part was, man, I had a strained quad from some powerlifting workouts like the week prior. 'Cause I'm training for a powerlifting meet right now. And, like, I strained my quad. And that first stride, like, I took off sprinting, I was just like, motherfucker, that hurt. But I got him. Now, that would have sucked if I'd have re-injured my quad and missed him. But, yeah. So, those are your three. You never named your three.
Me, I think caribou, giant mule deer, and then another
Whitetail.
giant whitetail. Yeah,
What state?
I'm pretty easy to please. I got deer on the brain. Like I said, I want just a giant, wide, deep split mule deer though. That's up there. I don't care what I got to kill them with, rifle, bow, whatever.
Muzzle loader.
Yeah, muzzle loader. I'm buying a muzzle loader. I bought a muzzle loader right now for hopefully this year to go give it a shot. For
Muzzle
Nebraska.
loaders are cool. I shot a couple deer this year with a muzzle loader.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, the first time she ever shot a muzzle loader, iron sights, was at a deer this year.
Oh,
We were sitting
nice.
there and I was like, "Do you want this one?" She's like, "Yeah, what do I do?" And I was like, "Oh, this is going to be interesting." Little 50 cal.
Yeah.
And it's like, just put the dots where you want the bullet to go. Boom! That was awesome. Yeah, I had a good season, man. I'm ready for this season. I'm excited. But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on, man.
It's almost
We'll,
10 o'clock here.
Yeah, we'll let you finish up and have a good night. We're gonna finish up and call it a night ourselves. So we appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man. Just let me know, and I'll get this up on all my social and stuff too.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Yeah.
See you, man.
Yeah.
We're back with just two. Right on. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed that BS session. I've been talking to Baker for quite a while on Instagram. Dude's just real positive, real fun, always out there, just absolutely crushing it. He kills all kinds of shit with cool people. I thought he'd be a good dude to have on right this time of year because he doesn't take shit serious. And this is kind of, like he said, if deer hunting was 365, it wouldn't be as special and you'd get burnt out and you'd be tired of it. And I think we got burnt out last year, even during season. So he always is finding the positive and living in the moment, especially when he's out there hunting. And he's hunting with the Black Rifle guys and knock on, all those guys. He's living the badass stuff all the time, every day of his life. So, but we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think I haven't talked to Homie yet, but I think we're going to do one of just me and you. I got a topic I want to cover that might be kind of controversial, but I think it needs to be said. It's going to be one of those episodes where we kind of hash shit out. But
all right.
Yeah.
I like it.
We love you guys. We appreciate you guys for listening. Just steady numbers, man. Just blown away by the steady commitment that you guys got. Listen to us every week, coming back. Can't say thank you enough for that. You guys are just absolutely rock solid, and that steady number just grows every year. After deer season, we pick up a few stragglers that like to hang around and listen to us bullshit. So we appreciate you guys. Like we always say, leave a legacy, try to do the right thing, and Whitetail Legacy is out. All right, intro.
You're still recording.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll just put it all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grant, we're going to do the intro. Cut it. Do you have stuff wrote down over there? I got a render in the mail, so I'll hit that.
Yeah, I got Amazon down for them.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So,
okay.
You got Last Breath?
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. That's it, right? Or it's been going? It's been ripping, or what's the plan?
No, he won't rip till June 1st, and I need to talk to him, just
Okay.
finalize it, make sure I understand what he wants and what he's doing. So,
All right, sounds good. Here we go.
all right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy podcast, coming in your ear holes. This week we got on Baker, Black Baker on Instagram is his name. Dude is absolute solid. He runs social for multiple companies. His main one is Black Rifle Coffee. I love Black Rifle Coffee. We talk about that a little bit. We talk about social media. We talk about hunting in the South, turkey hunting. We talk about all kinds of stuff. So this is just a BS session with Baker is what we're calling it. So
And dude's hilarious.
Going in the oven with Baker or something like that. But yeah, dude's hilarious, super positive, lives life at 100. So we wanted to have him on just to chat and I think it's, his positive vibe and goofiness is something good to follow, because you might be having a rough day and you go to his Instagram story, you're like, what the heck? This is an Oreo dipped in salsa. What this guy got going on right now?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just random stuff. But we're getting the people that make this possible. We'll get into the show. Do you want to start off with last breath, homie?
Yeah. We're going to continue on talking about the launch party that's going to be going on here July 23rd at the Adler Theater in Davenport. The one thing I want to cover this week is the audience. It's something that me and you have been a part of, and for multiple years, and the vibe that you get out there. So like, we'll say the first video is coming on and the kill shot comes, you'll have like the hardcore 15 guys that have been there every year in the launch party, and they know how it's going to go down. 15 guys, hoop and holler when the kill shot comes. And then the second video comes on, and then you get more people on the kill shot. And then, the third video comes on, and then everybody's in there, and the atmosphere is buzzing. They're throwing gear out in there to everybody in the audience. The beer's going down nice and good. Everybody's loosening up. It's just a great environment to be a part of and watch these badass videos. So being out there in the audience is something that is pretty cool to experience. And now for the first time, we're going to be on the opposite side of that. We're not going to be in the audience per se. So excited to see that. And we are on the cusp of 2 months away from this venue. So
yeah,
very excited about it.
Super jacked about it, dude.
Man, I know.
I'm going to miss not being in the audience, like feeling the vibe or what's going on. But being up there is going to be, insane. And from when we seen it, the very first time, we were like, dude, this is where we need to be. And now we're there, we're actually going to have a film in the damn thing, which is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I don't know what it's going to be or what we got going on exactly, but I'm excited for it. And it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be a lot different to be on the other end of the spectrum. But guys, if you can make it to this thing, if you're local, if you're not local, we're going to be staying in a hotel. Come up and hang out with us, party with us. I'm getting jacked about it. Like, it's just so much damn fun in one night. It's insane. And we go hard. We go hard there. Like you said, everybody's hooping and hollering. And then afterwards we have fun, man. We're all talking deer hunting, celebrating, kind of the video success of the year. So if you can make it to this, guys, if you want any information, you can message the page on Instagram, Facebook, personal message me or homie. We'll definitely, try to get you hooked up, get, any way we can. If you guys want to make this thing, we're going to try to make it happen. Cause like I said, it's so worth it to come and experience what we got going on. So, all right. Well, I got to
see a Magnum.
Yeah. I got Exodus this week. I bought a render off Amazon. Got that sucker in 4 days. Pretty solid. So
yes,
if you need, like, if you were in season, you're like, man, I need a cell cam. Shit's about to be popping.
Yeah.
4 days off Amazon Prime. That's about as best as you're going to get unless you can drive to the store and get something, So now we got another render. And that's going to be awesome. So you guys can get the render right there on Amazon now and directly through Amazon Prime. Another thing I want to hit on Exodus is they have a passcode on them. So if you guys see Exodus trail cameras out in the woods, do not steal those because you cannot use them. And that's one of the reasons why we use Exodus cams, because they have a passcode lock. We had some cams stolen, and the company will alert, people if they get the model number and you have a warranty on that camera. You try to call the company to get password help to get your camera back, and that guy's turned in the model number, you're done, man. They automatically know that the thing's stolen. So if you do see an Exodus cam out there and you're just thinking about swiping it, I know most of our listeners are solid and they wouldn't do shit like that, but there's people out there that would. So if you're listening to this for the first time, just don't steal them, man. That's why people pay hard money to get these cameras, to get that 5-year warranty. And if you get that camera, you literally get a paperweight. There's a guy out there right now that stole our camera and literally has a paperweight that says Exodus on it now.
I hope he just feels like a dumbass when he got that at home, turned on, and was just like, well, damn, now what? Yeah. I hope. I'm just gonna throw this thing away, or I'm
gonna call the company to get password protection, and they're gonna say, well, that's actually warranted under this guy's name. And we know, we're good friends with the owners, so we're like, hey, we had one stolen. Maybe if you have anybody coming in, let us know. So I hope they message us, and it more than likely it's someone we know, so that's what we're thinking. We're hunting ground. People know you're hunting on it. They see your cameras, and they got our damn intel, our all year intel. That's the really kicker. That's almost as valuable as the cam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
$225 camera, but that intel is pretty valuable.
I hope that spike bug was just back there smoking the cam.
Oh yeah, I hope it's just a spike bug. That it was a fork and horn spike 3-pointer. So I hope they got.
Yeah.
Like I said, they got a prime video of me like this, trying to see if the camera is working, just sweat dripping down my face, heavy breathing. I'm like, is this thing on?
No lie.
The first thing they're gonna see when I go through that card. They're like, "Oh, I know who owns this thing."
Yep.
This guy, he looks like a complete teabag out there.
Why is he breathing so hard?
Why is he breathing so heavy? Because it's literally as far as you can go away from anywhere. There's 98 degrees out.
The cam probably says 111 degrees out.
There's 111 degrees. This guy's out checking cans. This guy
That's when we do shit.
Learn priorities in life. All right, is that it? We got everything?
Yeah, buddy.
All right, here we go, guys. You guys are gonna enjoy this one. Let's get right into it.
Getting it turned off over there?
We can't. It doesn't have the stop recording on the. Oh, there it is. It updates.